See, this is a mendacious, perfidious, fallacious, erroneous, and egregious asseverations, allegations, avowal, and affirmation, unequivocally and uncontrovertibly stating that I did not fecund, propagate, proliferate, and fertilize this lady's prenatal chambers, ovaries, and ovum. Let me give you the utmost veracity, verity, and dinkum oil, and the cornucopia and gallimaufry of the ingredients of this pandemonium and conundrum. For donkey years and a month of Sundays, we are engaging in pata, rumpy pumpy, and coitus, but I must admit that I did not fertilize and fecund your ovaries, goog, and prenatal chambers. A verisimilitude harangue to my prescient, vigorous, and vociferously vehement gravitas correro. You see, this matter requires a Brobdingnagian ruminative introspection. As an aficionado and academic apparatchik, let me punctiliously and meticulously perorate and adumbrate. You see, it is lugubriously abysmal and dolorously lachrymose that the price of Naira keeps nosediving and plummeting in a pernicious, malignant, and maleficent nodus modus, while the price of dollar keeps mushrooming, burgeoning, proliferating, and ballooning to the crescendo and apotheosis in an OTT, boisterous, lickety-split, and chop-chop modus. Exempli gratia. You see, these head honchos, that is, these lame dogs and snollygusters, have a hoity-toity attitude and holier-than-thou attitude, and they always consummately and consudatedly put us in an centric atmosphere with the one and she, nolens volens and nilly-willy. You see, the funny thing is they always tergiversate and equivocate the dinkum oil whenever they disembark their harangue in Koran populo. Craptastic, kokami, hot swallow, collywobbles, and a concatenation and gallimaufry of mumbo jumbo combo and hogagaga. You see, we, the one and she, and the man on the Clapham omnibus are now going loco, poco a poco, and even the hobos. So the best way to vanquish this malignant, kefeful malaki and stupendous quagmire of Kwondari,
languid, languorous, and in a financial comatose, they have the intrepidity and temerity to incautiously introduce the endemic and orthogonous excruciating bank charges. What a debilitating, attenuating, enervating, and exasperating situation. The totalitarians, tyrannical and tyrannous politicos, leave the masses in what I call happy-go-lucky and desultory attitudes. The prodigious charges, or if you like, call it taxation, has anomalously caused a proliferate, unabated, skyrocket cost of living in our milieu. Why create a financial tumult, a financial rumpus, in our pockets? The anti-penultimate lemma is melancholious and rebarbative, so it has to be barbiturated, proscribed, annihilated, and decapitated. If not, it will cause another financial bankruptcy, financial dilapidation and lobotomization, financial precipitation, maladroit and malady. The charges has to be barbiturated, or else I will not koto in this poho. I will not koto in this poho. So Akatapo and Ogenekaro, I will not koto in this poho. The charges has to be barbiturated.
Chimadoma is my cousin. I was born in Nimakante.
You got birth certificate?
I'm coming now. Revin, take time. Revin, you divorce a wife 2 times. You divorce a 2-wife woman.
You say you a lie? I only been married twice. I was divorced twice. You know jack about me. You don't want to say you a divorce your wife and she vote for CDC. Don't play with me. You don't know jack about me. You don't know me.
Chimadoma is my cousin. I was born in Nimakante.
You got birth certificate?
I'm coming now. Revin, take time. Revin, you divorce a wife 2 times. You divorce a 2-wife woman.
You say you a lie? I only been married twice. I was divorced twice. You know jack about me. You don't want to say you a divorce your wife and she vote for CDC. Don't play with me. You don't know jack about me. You don't know me.
Chimadoma is my cousin. I was born in Nimakante.
You got birth certificate?
I'm coming now. Revin, take time. Revin, you divorce a wife 2 times. You divorce a 2-wife woman.
You say you a lie? I only been married twice. I was divorced twice. You know jack about me. You don't want to say you a divorce your wife and she vote for CDC. Don't play with me. You don't know jack about me. You don't know me.
Let's start it with the acknowledgement. Good to have all of you on. We've got a couple of individuals who have come on. We must acknowledge you. You've done extremely well. You continue to do well. From Monday to Friday, you've been so good, so marvelous, so extraordinary, so massive. It is because of you we avail ourselves from Monday to Friday sacrificially. And it is because of us too that you will take up your time, energy, resources, everything to know what is unfolding, how those issues are analyzed so that you know what to do. That's very good. It's complementary. We do it together. Thank you so much. All of you can appreciate you people the more. You have done so well, and you continue to be good fans, supporters. Yeah, so we must acknowledge that. Okay, so we return to the football page at the weekend. The international break is over. That's good. So while other people are jollying in the various or at the various entertainment centers, we do ours watching football games, and after that, we get ready for the next day. The game entertains us a lot. So this weekend is going to be very interesting. The world's greatest, the world's most classic, most popular football team plays on Sunday, FC Barcelona. Okay. All my Barca fans, yo, hello. So let's get started with the acknowledgement. Mary Tule, you've come on. You are following from, you said, New Georgia Estate. Good. Dominion Howard, GSA Row YMCA Community, Otaka, Maryland, the United States of America. Willem Bajibo from Iowa, the United States of America. Solo Watcosia, as usual, your comfort zone, you said. New Georgia Estate, Badnessville, have a nice weekend, you said. Yes, thank you. I wish you the same. Michael's Jide, Congo Town, Sophie Community, Tina Cooper, Colorado, Denver, the United States of America. Nathaniel James from Congo Town Back Road. Solomon Carr from where your residence airfield. Yassa Sharif, you did not say, but it's good to have you on. Christopher Bernard, Lower Magibi County. Josiah Collins from Macerado County, Johnsonville Township. Justin Wistner from 12th Street, Cinco. Titus Pa from District 3, Campley, Nima County. Mohammed Skamara, Abu Dhabi. Thank you. My dear Southeastern sister, Duaite, you've come on from Minnesota, the United States of America. And today is your son, Levi, birthday. That's good. We bless God so much. Little Levi, celebrate well with your mother. It is a blessing that you can celebrate your birthday. So a shout out to you, little Levi, as you celebrate your birthday. Mama is providing every other thing. Do I tell you know what it is? I need not tell you. So that little Levi can take issues with you. Kudat Williams, you've come on from where you didn't say Solomon Carr. You are following, okay, Jimin Wallace from where UL or Jalatown community around the University of Liberia. Richard Lawrence from Minnesota, the United States. William Massaquoi, Pennsylvania, the United States. Ayuba Sise, John Koi from Germany. David Yenkan from Grand Bassa number 3 compound. Ralph Chill, Kentucky, Louisville, the United States. Jawulo P. Bear from where? The United States. You got one speaker side you, eh? Yeah, those guys are they are fun guys, jokers. Frederick Willen from Hinsiki, thank you for coming on from that part of the world. Yakubu Conan from Banjul, the Gambia. Elijah Brown from Bar Township, Bombing County. Emmanuel Pascal Hodges, District 8, Montserrat County. Sylvester Kuhn, Capital Bypass. David Williams, Colorado, the United States of America. Daniel Alpha, the Office of the Liberia First Time Voters Association. Thank you all for coming on. A Valley Cora from Banjul, the Gambia. Jackson C. Ponin from I Am Factory, Block C community. Member of Block Titan, the Intellectual Center there, you said, headed by your chairman, Romancio, affectionately referred to as Kenneth Boy. Good to have you on. Archie Brown, you've come on from Vocal Mission. Gabriel Ma, you are falling from your residence in Brewerville. Stephen Coker from Minnesota, the United States of America. Okay, you guys, the names are just dropping and dropping like when you open for sale. Thank you all for coming on. I appreciate all of you. We've got a couple of things to talk about. It's the weekend, eh? So I hope that you won't stress yourself too much with this LIB politics and other political events around the world. Sometimes you just need to de-stress yourself, just cool off on the tension-driven or the atmospheric politics, the how high, the tension, the things that you're hearing. Sometimes just good. Okay, let the people go ahead. Let them do what they do. I have to relax myself. It's good that way. It's good that way. It helps. You just have to be psychological with yourself. Otherwise than that, you put the people like what they can say in Labyrinthine, you put the people thing on your head, you might fall down. Especially LIB. LIB politics is just stupid. So it's the weekend, eh? It's a weekend. Let's go a bit therapeutic. Let's try to ease the stress a little bit. Find something that you can do, a way to make. Some have chosen to be at entertainment center. Some, whichever way you can do it. The only thing, it shouldn't go beyond moderation. But you have to relax yourself. From Monday to Friday, you've been stressed up with a number of things. You can tell me that throughout the week, you didn't encounter some awful situation. You weren't talked to some kind of way by the boss or a friend in the office, or things just didn't go as you had planned. All of those things happen. It's not possible to move from Monday to Friday without encountering anything of that. They may not be too strong, but you encounter something. And at the close of the day, once you can overcome that, you have to give yourself a rest. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you go out. It not necessarily liquor drinking, because we understand it in our country, Liberia, that if you aren't drinking liquor, then you are not sociable, you are not open, you can say bele. So about 40 to 50, around 45, 50% of the people drunk entertainment centers. But if those who are not there or who can't go there and say, oh, at least bele, no. It is anything that you do that brings satisfaction to you. So it can be with your friends, at your friend's place, you're sitting down, you're just lecturing. Sometimes it can be at the restaurant. It can be at any place, just a way you people would design it. That's de-stressing oneself. Yeah, it can just be a lecture on certain things that will bring up so much laughter. Have you not seen guys or ladies together and just cracking joke from one end to another, and everybody on the floor? You know, it takes away the stress. it is so enjoyable. And when you can get people laughing, you know what you've done? You're more than a psychology. You take up. So you know why sometimes when the pastor is preaching at a certain point in time of the sermon, the pastor will insert a joke, and then you see most people or members making of the congregation laughing, or the pastor is using a simple psychology just to get things off people's mind. All of those, even in the office, sometimes you see the boss comes around and just cracking joke, and then everybody in the office realize, or all of those things, they help to reduce the tension. Then nationally, you have this wahala in the country. The country is upside down, nothing straight. Nebuchadnezzar insisting that everybody should bow to him. So just relax yourself. It's a weekend. Take enough rest over the weekend. Sleep. Eat good. Sleep long. And then if you are a Christian, you go to church, come back, give yourself enough sleep again, and get ready for another stressful week ahead of us. Don't just keep stressing yourself from Monday to Friday. You can rest. You from one place to another. You put the whole country on your head. You put your house problem on your head. Everybody comes to when they're explaining theirs, you take theirs and put it in on your own. You're moving with it. You're going to fall down and die. And when you fall down and die, it's over. It's finished. The living will just say, amen, sorry, or the crowd. It finished. You can keep yourself living long when you are just wisdom driven. You can't overuse yourself. God in heaven forbids that. What did Jesus tell his disciples in Mark chapter 6? He said, you've been with me all day, people coming and going. Now go into desert place and rest. People coming and going, as used in the text, means they were catering to people. They were looking after people. And they didn't have the time given the nature of the job that they were doing. And God in Jesus Christ looked at it and said, no, if I continue with these people, they're going to fall down and die. So let them rest. Give them rest. They need a reconfiguration of their system through rest. Then they will be energized after resting to continue the job. And so he told them, he said, go into desert place and rest. That is why if you stress yourself up with everything, or you put too much worry on your mind, you're thinking, and you think that the problem ought to be solved because you want it solved, listen, you're going to fall down and die. And God wouldn't regret that kind of death. That's why I share with you an idea from the Bible. If you are a Christian, well, then you live by the Bible and you see you live a longer life. God set everybody life on a longer pace. He said 70. But by reason of strength, you can go beyond 70. That reason by strength means the way you take care of yourself. You sleep well, you eat the appropriate food, you rest, you cut off, or you discipline yourself against worrying a lot. When you can do these and a lot more, you get yourself living a very long time. When you hear people from the other side of the world or beyond Liberia still living at the age of 100, 102, 105, 110, it is not that God favored them and put longevity onto them only. No. But they use wisdom, taking care of themselves over the years as they ought to by wisdom, and they live longer life. So don't stress yourself up with all of these things. When it gets chronic within you, forget it. Just as some people, the people politics, they can be sleeping, they're talking about a politics, they sleep. They're talking in their sleep because they're so used to it. Okay, man. So let's talk something very, very germane, and then we are out. But before we get started, the cash money giveaway is on. The weekend is on us. The country is hot. The economy is in a bad state. Money isn't forthcoming. The country isn't open. People are struggling here and there. The little money that is around, people are scrambling for it. And if you can take advantage of opportunity, then you will get some cash in your pocket. And one of those opportunities is Kings FM 88.5 cash money giveaway. So you want to play so that you get 10,000 Liberian dollars in your pocket. Today's code is just dial *799 *25#. The cash prize is 10,000 Liberian dollars. All you have to do is play with 200 Liberian dollars and $1. That's United States dollars. Just play with $1. And then what happened? You get your 10,000 United States dollars in your pocket. 10,000. Okay. So let's talk now. Let's talk something. So the United States government has this program called the Millennium Challenge Corporation, or sometimes it's a compact. They track several things: corruption, rule of law, democracy, gender equity, all of those basic things of life. They track all of those, see how the government handles them, and a lot more. And at the end of the day, they have a scorecard, and you have to pass a certain threshold or a benchmark. That means you have to complete the entire. If you can complete all, if you can pass in all, then you can pass in most of them or almost all of them. If you can pass in almost all of them, it puts you in a better advantage to get substantial amount for development from the U.S. government. It's just to say, all right, this money is available, but these are the conditions by which you can get this money. You have to meet these conditions, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And you don't have to meet these conditions by any perfunctory means. You have to meet them with all of the requirements. Anything short of that, you're not going to get the money, but you will get credit. Just as we go to school, the teacher realized that you don't reach the mark that you ought to. But because you made effort, they will give you an encouraging mark. But you have made nothing significant of a breakthrough. That's what it is. Just to help. Liberia is not the only country. They do that to help countries around the world, especially developing economies. And they have the period. They have the period by which it goes. So they came out with something today. Was it today? Yesterday. And and Unity Party, as I told you people a couple of weeks ago, if you look at Unity Party, They want to prove a point. They are acting like governance is a proof text. That is how, look at Unity Party carefully. They want to prove a point, and they think that governance is a proof text. So every little thing, they run far and wide with it to give the people the impression that they have made or making progress in a very short time. So even things that the former government did, when the credit comes in this time, they hang on it and present it like it is their progress. The people came up with the report. The report from 2023, not for 2024. The report, they are years. They have a time frame, a period that they covered, and those benchmarks that you have to meet within those that period. So it came out, and few Unity Party people, I say few because I know Unity Party people very well, the average minded ones. Only few individuals try to put it out faintly. Majority of them stay off. You know why? Because they know literally those things were not cataloged in the government. So the few trying to portray it like Boubacar made significant progress in fighting corruption. He made significant progress in education. He made significant progress in electricity. He made significant progress there. So you who don't know the whole program and you have not followed or attempt to follow the trend of Liberia's politics because you are a fanatic of the government, you will soon reach the conclusion that, yes, oh, the government made this, the government made this gain, the government doing this, the government made this, the government has done this. CDC government, they just went and dumped this country into all kinds of problems. You see here, yeah, they're not doing nothing. Look at what the government, in a short time, the Pape came to power. Look at what the Pape doing. So they make you to believe, they play on you too, because they feel that you are not critical. You are not critical. David Yinka, what did you say? But we'll check it. Did you say that you aren't getting sound, David Yinka? Those of you, David, you have to check your side because I'm communicating with the other people. They are responding. So if you're saying no sound, then you have to check your system. So they ran a few individuals of Boubacar, the government, Unity Party government passed. Unity government made significant breakthrough, all kinds of things. Those few individuals, you can tell, you can sense, you can feel the lie in it. From January 2024, Boubacar came to power 2024. The report is 2023. They argue also that it is a mixture. When people raise critical issues, then they say it is a mixture of 2023, 2024. Does that make sense? When the report, whenever people releasing report, they release it for a given period. That period they track. If they are tracking from January 1 to December 31st, that report will be released in, if it is 1 year, it will be released in 2025. That's how it goes. If it is 2 years, it will be released in 2026. That's how they do it. They don't divide it by months. They take few months from 2023 and few months from in 2024. So they try to portray it like in a short time, Boubacar has done significantly well in most of those areas. So, okay, let's take it as it for argument's sake. What have the government achieved now? What goes to the government? The condition is when you pass those conditions lay out, you are a legitimate candidate for a substantial amount of money to aid in your development initiatives. So we agree. They're running all around. But they're not telling you the money that they're about to receive because dime is not coming. So it's empty. The intent is to get money for development. It is not a publicity stunt. The Millennium Challenge Compact is simply meet these benchmarks, and then you are in a pole position to get your money to carry on your development. Just few, only few. That means you haven't reached the middle of it. You have not met a good amount of the conditions. So you can get nothing. Nothing. It's just running around. A few individuals are running around attributing it to Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar has done nothing significant. And look at the report. What did they say? Let's assume. What did they say on the issue of corruption? You see how some of the Unity Party people are dull? You're claiming that you made significant breakthrough. You're running with it as a good thing. But the very report saying you're claiming that is in for 2024 now, the report saying that corruption, you done nothing. You can't fight corruption widespread. You're breaking the law. You see how the people making fun of their own man, the Nebuchadnezzar? They're attributing something to him supposedly positive. But the report talking about a couple of negative things. So then how can you attribute it to your government, Unity Party government, as a breakthrough? You see how most of these guys are not analytical? Now what they doing, now what they did today, they keep spreading all around. Okay. That will be doing it for that. Where do we go next? Okay, we'll save this for the last. Let's go to Capitol Hill. Let's go to Capitol Hill. Charisma Anderson, thank you. Yeah, that's just what's happening. The people ain't know where to attribute anything significant of the government. But continue to play the cash money giveaway as we go on before the close of the show. Who knows? You might get that $10,000 in your pocket, Liberian dollars. So you play down star 799 star 25 hatch and play 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US, and you win for yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars. The many times you play, the many times you're going to win, and many dollars going to go into your pocket. Play as many times as you can. Don't get discouraged. If you play the first, you don't win. It simply means that they are processing your money for the second time that you will play. And when you play the second time, they will tell you that you have 10,000 Liberian dollars in your account. So play, yeah? Play as many times as you can. Don't give up. The weekend is on us. The country is hard. It is the safest, the shortest, the fastest, the quickest way of getting money in your pocket right now. So let's move to Capitol Hill. All of us are aware of what transpired yesterday. But before we go there, I want to share something with you in relation to what unfolded yesterday, which I think should be what I will consider the speaker's stupor. And this it's not only for the speaker, but every one of us, everywhere, whatever the position you find yourself in, and what you are called to do. Sometimes you need to take up time to read some literatures, depending on where you find yourself or what you are confronted with. You need to take up time to read some literatures. It can be for a specific area, it can be general, it can be something motivational that you want to listen to, like what I share with you this week. I try looking for it, but I do not know how I save it, but I save it motivation, but I'm not getting it. These things, they help. Not only do they give you that comfort, but they give you a clear pathway how to charter a new course moving forward, or how to get out of difficult situation. And I find these lines very interesting, having come across them. And I think they have characteristics, or yes, they have characteristics with what is unfolding with the speaker. And the guy penned a very good, inspiring lines that all of us can use. I was running through Sun Tzu book called The Art of War. The Art of War. And at the close of the book, very interesting chapter. Yeah, what he said on warfare. And I thought to share this with you, and I think it resonates with the situation that the speaker is going through, because the political odds are not only against him, but they are strong. And I think had the speaker read this, it would have helped him some way. Do you know that what Speaker Kofa is going through, that he brought some of those things on himself because he wasn't sensitive at all? He was relaxed, and he felt that he was going to just sail on smoothly as speaker until probably the day he decides to resign. He wasn't expecting this. So hear what the guy said. Hear what Sun Tzu said in his book, The Art of War. Listen carefully. He said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. 2, if you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. 3, if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Let me put it in context. It's as simple to understand. He said, it is a known fact that we're in a warfare. Every day, whatever we go through, the nature of it, it is a warfare. Any rival situation, it is a warfare. A battle between two persons For supremacy, it is a warfare. The whole world is in a warfare with the devil. What did God tell us in 1 John 5:19? He said the whole world is under the sway of the wicked one. And what did he say? Who is our enemy? He said the devil. He said your enemy, the devil, is moving like a roaring lion seeking whom he can devour. But before then, he gave the caution. And I want to believe that Sun Tzu, besides his own stuff, must have taken cue and paraphrased it into these. When he said that be sober, be vigilant, then he talked about the enemy, who is a direct rival to us. So in a political war, what he's simply saying that if you know the enemy and you know yourself, then you need not be afraid. The enemy is always ready to initiate any fight, whichever way and however way he or she will plan it. But if you know yourself, if you know the enemy, that means you have an understanding. You must have done a reconnaissance. You have gone beyond your reach to know. Just as we see in warfare, when the person or when that group is faced with another, what do? They strategize. They will even send spies to know how they are planning and come back so that they will counter their rival plan. That way, when they get that information, then they know their enemy. Because to know the enemy means that you must have an understanding of how he or she is coming to attack. That you should keep your ear to the ground. That you should take nothing for granted. That's why he meant when he said, if you know the enemy and you know yourself, your capability, who you are, what you can do, how you can counter the ammunition available to you, then you need not fear going into 100 battles because you are fortified. Secondly, he said, if you know yourself, but you do not know the enemy, you're not going to win a single battle against that enemy because you only know yourself, but you have no idea of the enemy. And that is the situation that the speaker finds himself in over the weeks. We've been talking about this. He knew himself, but he did not know his enemy. So when he thought that he was gaining victory, he was being defeated. That if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb to every battle. And that is what is happening to the speaker. The speaker knew and knows himself, was comfortable with his surrounding, was relaxed, but he did not know his enemy. When he felt that he was gaining victory, he was losing the warfare. When he felt that he knew the enemies were already more than 99% encroachment into his territory. So he was left with only a single weapon that is not dependable, and that weapon now is the Supreme Court. In a warfare, be careful. When you are in a political position and that area is involved with so much money and power, and you're in a high position, know that you have enemies. Know that you have enemy. And do you know that all of us that walk this earth, every country, everywhere, down to the Yana boy, they have enemies? Oh yes, everybody has enemies. You don't have to be a big person in a political, everybody. Somewhere, somehow, a person may not like how you walk. They may not like how you dress. They may not like how you say certain things. They will just get offended. They will just develop different feelings for you. Least to say at that level. There are people who just don't like us because we sit behind a microphone or we sit on the radio and talk. They just don't like what we say. And what they do, not only do they get vexed, but they try to create a situation by which they think that they can entrap us or bring us down because it's hurting them. The pastor who preaches in the church, there's some of the people, if not all, that sit in the church and listen to the pastor and say amen, they are against the pastor because they think the pastor talking to them. Have you not seen people after the pastor finish preaching, they go to the pastor and say, man of God, hello, thank you. I just came to tell you thank you. At least your sermon, you prepare your sermon for me. But the pastor, you know that person. And that person now will try to do everything to bring that pastor down. Everywhere you have enemies. Enemies. And according to God's definition, is that person who goes against, who goes against you, who has opposing belief to yours. So what did the saying God may say? When you find yourself anywhere, don't make yourself vulnerable. Don't leave yourself vulnerable. So Sun Tzu in The Art of War, you read the book, you'll see. He said, if you know the enemy, he did not say you should try to know the enemy. He said, if you know the enemy. If you know the enemy is a reference for the enemy exists. But if you try not to know his or her strategy or how they work, the things they're coming out with, you're not going to win if they come against you because you don't know when they are going to come against you. The speaker did not know. The speaker was relaxed and a sign was given through Yeke. He downplayed that. So Sun Tzu said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you don't need to fear the result of 100 battles because you will win it. But if you know yourself and not the enemy, for every victory you think you have gained, you will suffer defeat. You will lose. And that's what happened to the speaker. He's losing. If you know neither the enemy and you don't even know yourself, you will succumb to every battle. What is happening to the speaker? He's gradually succumbing. Why am I saying that? Because I am not 100% convinced, not relying on the Supreme Court with that is McDermott read. If the Supreme Court rules in his favor, fine. But I'm not too sure, and please accept my cynicism, because this thing is beyond what we see and talking. Once Nebuchadnezzar is involved, you go up, you come down. Nothing will change. That's what Sun Tzu means. Then he didn't start that. He turned his reflection on the guys at the other side of the warfare. And this is against the speaker again. Listen to what he said. He said, if your enemy is secure, if your enemy is secure at all points, be prepared for him. But the speaker wasn't prepared. The guys were secure. They were fortifying. They were strategizing. But the speaker was not ready to prepare himself for them. Then he said, if he is in superior strength, not power, he says strength. That means number. If he is in superior strength, try to apply wisdom. What is that wisdom? You are less, the more. Start strategizing by which you can reduce that strength by cutting the number. The speaker was relaxed. Then he said, in the same book, the same chapter, he said, if your enemy is temperamental, seek to irritate him. What the guys were doing, didn't you see that? Did we not see temperament in the guy, and we still see temperament today? How they were acting, the things they were saying, what they were taking onto themselves. Your temperament is not only vexation or cursing and saying all kind of things where we see of women in the yard and some men too. It simply means the ego, the desire that you have either for or against. And the power that is available unto you, you will use it against. That's what temperament is. It's not only vexation. You can have a righteous temperament. You can have a sinless temperament. And you can have inordinate temperament, undesirable temperament. He said, if your enemy is temperamental, seek to irritate them. So you saw that the speaker came, was quiet. They were taking their time. They were not saying things. They were not being unruly in their expression. They conducted themselves, and they stay conducting themselves right. And they stuck to the law and stay sticking to the law. The other guys on the other side were showing temperament by what they do, where they go to our LJ, they come back and say this and say that and say this other one. If you do this, we're going to do that. So he's saying that in such a situation where you notice a temperament, then you try to chunk something in their midst that will make them even more temperamental, that confusion will come in the midst. Somebody there will not like it, and then there will be disagreement. And once your enemy is against himself, nothing can be achieved. That's why God said, if Satan is divided against himself with all his temperament, how can his kingdom stand? Kingdom means will. What do you intend to do? What are you doing? That's why they call kingdom. Anytime you hear the word kingdom, it means will. So the word is used for God and it's used for Satan. Then he said, pretend to be weak, that you may grow ignorant. Pretend to be weak. Study them. Act like you aren't doing anything. Just relax yourself. Then he said, if he is taking his ease, give him no rest. If he is taking his ease, at the time this guy was relaxing now, the tempo was dropping, that's the time the speaker needed to move. And what did he do? He attempted the first time. Here his guys went to the Supreme Court. When the hair echo was coming, he withdrew it. They go and sit down. The guy said, good. Do you know that everything that went over there yesterday, you know that those guys fast-tracked it? You know that it should not have been yesterday? And you know that they're out of the law? Besides being out of the law, you know that the guys felt that had they not done that yesterday, their camp was going into disarray. The guys were far ahead of Speaker Kofa. That kangaroo thing, the guys, then they fast track it, they stole people's names and put it on that list. If you sign a resolution is not signed in absentia. In absentia. That means St. Andrew is out of the country. Then he says St. Andrew sign. St. Andrew has to be on the ground and affix his signature. He himself will write his own name there. Because anything thereof, he is held accountable. Another person cannot be held accountable for another person's signature. That is why in their own rule, in Parliament, when they call in the roll call means when you say St. Andrews, then I should stand up, everybody see me present. That's what roll call is. You must be there physically. When you are not there, that name cannot be placed in the roster. So because they know that the camp was going in this array, they saw the signs. What did they? They hastened everything order. They stole people's names and put it there and say they carved a resolution and they above the 49. And say they're above the 49. So the speaker should move. They have removed the speaker. Fonante Kofa had time in his favor. He had everything in his favor to have neutralized those guys from the very beginning. But he was insensitive. He was relaxed. Those guys had a plan. They are not strong enough. They are gullible. They are subservient. That means they are at the feet of the master because they have not seen, some of them have not seen, no disrespect to them, they have not seen 5,000 US, 10,000 US. It is the first time, most of them. Do you know that it's easier to convince a person to do something against another person who has not been mature to money or seen money used to it? That is why if you are not strong, when they open the plastic, you convince. What did Thomas Goshain say? He said when he was signing for the money, his hand was trembling. He's big enough now. He has seen 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. But that expression means that he hasn't seen 15,000 cash before. So when he was signing, he said his hand was trembling. The speaker was not sensitive. He was relaxed within himself, and the few people who are around him, not the senators, I'm not talking about those representatives, the few people in his office, we're winning here, don't matter people. When it reached to the point, before the induction, before that kangaroo thing yesterday, then he started to backtrack. That statement that he made, nothing has changed. Listen, I consider that thing self-consolation. Once Baga is fully involved in this thing, once Nebuchadnezzar is fully involved, it finished. Even if the Supreme Court told them to go back to status quo ante, it would not change those guys' decision. Those guys, they are resolved. They are resolute. They made a vow. They will move to plan B. The decision by the executive, with Nebuchadnezzar heading it, at all costs, Fonante Kofa should get out. If the Supreme Court says status quo ante, that means you go back to the normal. The guys can agree. People say, "Oh, your kangaroo thing, you say your elected speaker," just as they're saying 1 country, 2 speakers. And those guys will not be bothered because the plan is cast in stone. Those guys will move to plan B. And you know why? They will not back off on their plan. They would move to another strategy because consciously they know that they took money and they know that Nebuchadnezzar, their master, wants the mission accomplished. The speaker had, according to Sun Tzu, he had the time and the ammunition from the beginning and in the middle to neutralize everything, but he wasn't. So now he's succumbing to defeat and only hoping now on the Supreme Court. He's only hoping on the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court said XYZ, and then it's over. It's finished. And we're talking here, breaking the law, breaking the law. Listen, nothing happening in this country. Nothing happening. No law in this country. I often hear people say Liberia is a country of laws, not men. That is not true. Liberia is a country of men, no laws. That's what Nebuchadnezzar has done or is demonstrating. Sun Tzu, thank you for that. I will continue to look in our book, The Art of War. Get a copy of it and you'll see. It helps. He touched every facet of society. The Art of War. That's the title of the book, The Art of War. So, Mr. Speaker, you are the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Richard Coon is not the Speaker. Yesterday was just a comedy, a prank by comedian renegades. The guys see the obsession in Coon for power. So they led him into secret oath-taking. That secret oath. Secret oath-taking. And don't even tell me that it was done in the public. Everybody saw it. That's not what I mean. Anything that is out of the law, anything that is not done legally, what is it? Anything that is not done legally is not done at all. That means it's covert, it's secret, it's Nicodemus. It's outside the law. Anything outside the norm of normality, it is secret. Don't understand it to me that when you go to medicine man, only you and the medicine man there. No. What the medicine man doing? The medicine man is only telling you that he's doing it outside the law, outside the norm. That's why it's called how they can say secret. What they get too many names for it. So Coon is not the Speaker of the House of Representatives. If you are a citizen of this country and you know the law, don't refer to Richard Coon as Speaker. Richard Coon allowed himself. He exposed his ineptitude and his obsession for power, his greed for power. He allowed those guys to bring the fun out of him. The kind of Peking he is, the tiny he is. The guys brought it up yesterday. Look how the guys were looking when they were doing a secret oath. The man is so hot. So hot, Jared, when the iron red. So hard to get it. The man almost died when Speaker Kofa was announced. The speaker, look at Richard Coon countenance in the chamber. Richard Coon fell. Bah! Richard Coon got sick. The man needed the thing at all costs. Then the opportunity came to the man. But the man is not a speaker. Don't call, if you're citizen of this country and you know the law, don't call Richard Coon speaker. They're not government, they're not Unity Party state we're running here. Unity Party was around here yesterday condemning and correcting and criticizing CDC for breaking the laws or not working in line with the laws, and that they knew everything. So in this time, they should be the least to ever do what they are doing. They've broken all the laws. They disrespected all the laws. Richard Coon is not the Speaker of the House of Representatives. As far as the country is concerned, Senator Fonati Kofa is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Nobody should refer to Richard Coon as Speaker. Refer to him as Representative Richard Coon. He is not the Speaker of the House of Representatives. That thing that they over there, they stole the atmosphere. They tried to bewitch the atmosphere. they ran ahead of the normal so that they will be seen as the House of Representatives. And Rachel Kuhn was the speaker. You look there, you look at the feature. The guy is so inept, so dull. Dull. The guy is very dull. Listen, you know what I'm saying there? When I saw that thing yesterday, I took up my time to do a research on it. I'm asking several questions here and there, asking people, talking to some people, trying to do a research. And almost everybody said the same thing, that when you're taking the oath, the right hand is lifted and the left hand is on the Bible or whatever the element they will use. And I went to some of the guys out of Liberia first. I asked for America's inauguration of the president. I saw that the images came. I went to other countries. I saw the same thing. Then I came to Liberia and asked for former President Taylor, former President Sirleaf, former President Weah, and the current president. I saw Taylor raise his right hand. I saw former President Sirleaf raise her right hand. I saw former President Weah raise his right hand. And I saw the current president, who almost died at the inauguration because of Miata family dismal performance along with the other people, Bouaka, his right hand. But look at Kun, because Kun so hot, greedy. Coco the man put left hand up, right hand. The man did not know what to do. That kind of man on Miss Speaker. Door taking over of office, the man rely. He organized and say, just rush. That kind of man on Miss Speaker, that whole thing. Look at the people laughing at us around the world. The people laughing at us. When you have Nebuchadnezzar reigning, that's what happens. The people laughing at Liberia. Speaker, he said he's speaker. He taking off. He put left hand up. He put right hand down. When normally, and every person I have seen taking the oath of office, their right hand was up. And the left hand is on a Bible or whatever the book of faith they will be using to swear that person in. Rachel can go put left hand up, then right hand on the Bible. You can see the each the man was to get it in. Jema Boro say maybe he's left-handed. The man are left-handed. The man right-handed, my borrow. The man just eat it. The man are each ability. Hey man, LRB. Brother, the man I left-handed. Rachel Kuhn is right-handed. Even if you left-handed, they say that the right hand traditionally is the right. The guy is so itchy. The man watching. See how the man coming on the stage to be sworn in. Look, when you're doing everything the wrong way, when you're stealing, God can expose you. The one God there yesterday, God left from behind there, God exposed there. He didn't know how to take the oath. That man, you may speaker. But you can't blame the man too. That Bouaka behind the whole thing. Nebuchadnezzar. That Bouaka. I told you, nobody will go down there besides Rachel Kuhn. All of those guys, they're working for Rachel Kuhn. All those guys and women in that so-called majority bloc, they are working for Rachel Kuhn. Bouaka is the mastermind and the sponsor. Rachel Kuhn is the executor. All of them working for Richard Coon. It's just like you're in a palace and the king there, and the king has his son. Every other person there work at the will and pleasure of the king's son. They take instruction from the king's son. He comes as what he wants. He gives instruction. They do. So Richard Coon is the king among those people. They can't argue with Richard Coon. They can't disagree with Richard Coon. Richard Coon is the brainchild, the political offspring of Joseph Yuma Boaka, the mastermind, the Nebuchadnezzar of this whole thing. So they say, oh, my man can sponsor son. Can't stand here, let's get you the Oval Office. He even asked. The man not even, oh man. Listen, even when something you want something, you have to take time. Try to find out behind the scene too. We're going to do this. How do they take the Oval Office? What do I do? How do I position? Just simple questions that will lead you into giving or getting an understanding. But the man do nothing at all. The man who say he teaching people at the University of Liberia. The man just go stand in a long red tie and blue coat suit. And listen to the man taking the oath. Listen to the man's tone. Then he had the audacity to say, I will be speaker for all of you. You speak up for RLJ. The RLJ speaker. You don't call that man speaker. If you're calling him speaker, you say RLJ speaker. Then the next thing that happened is not good, man. So listen. Under no condition, we can refer to those people as Liberia National Police. It's a Boaka police. See, all of them, they say they're shifting, they're going to Richard Coon, and they see Richard Coon as a speaker. It's just the country. Nobody going to recognize Richard Coon out of this country. Development partners will not recognize Richard Coon. Countries around the world will not recognize Richard Coon. Richard Coon just allowed himself to be used by those people over there because he knows and they know that they took money, so they justify. Until the Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court rules against the speaker, fine, Fonati will turn everything over. But I know the Supreme Court can rule against him. What I do know, the Supreme Court will send them back, and then they will move to Plan B. And there where you'll see, I don't think they will want to move back. Given all that they have done, they will feel that they cannot undo what they have done already. That it will be a shame, a disgrace. They will revolt. They will increase their revolt rather. Watch it. Part 2 coming. We're completing part 1. Part 2 coming next week. You'll see it. So they don't call that man speaker. That Richard Coon man, that man not speaker. That representative. He's not speaker. We have the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Continue to play the cash money giveaway. Today's code *799 *25#. Play $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. And you will win for yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars. Play as many times as you can. And as many times you play, many times you will win. And you will have many dollars in your pocket. If you can play, you will remain broke. If you play and play as many times, you will never get broke. Never get broke. Dial *799 *25#. Play with $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. That's all you need to do. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not hard. Just take $200 Liberian dollars, put it into a *799 *25#, and then $200 Liberian dollars. Just play with $200 Liberian dollars or $1 50 cents US, and then your money is in your pocket. So the guys now, they start to do some funny thing. It is my understanding that next week going to be a tension-driven week. Next week. Couple of things going to happen next week. It's going to be a tension-driven week. At that Capitol, it's going to be a hell week at that Capitol building. But let's take your calls. We'll talk about it. It's going to be a hectic week. Not going to be easy next week. The things that we hearing. And you say that you get a country. Nobody will call that man speaker. Rachel Kuhn is not speaker. If you are citizen of this country, if you know the laws, I'm not against Rachel Kuhn. I'm not against anybody over there. But chief, speak like citizen, not partisan. Because you as unity partisan, just yesterday, you were condemning CDC when they, in your opinion, breaking the laws, not respecting the law. And you said that you were not going to refer to those who break the law in a normal way. The same thing has come before your door. They are breaking all of the laws with no regret. Therefore, Rachel Kuhn is not speaker. We know how a speaker is elected and how a speaker is inducted or sworn in. That thing they did over there was a Russian thing because, you know, one of the reasons they did that, let me tell you, one of the reasons they did that, the political czar had hit the country. And when the political czar hit the country, what happened? The atmosphere changed. Do you know that some of the guys were about to leave the majority black? Just the presence of the political czar. Some of those guys were about to leave. The majority bloc was going all the way to 30, 28, 20, 27. They were going down. The guys sensed the thing. The guys are smart. The communications ran through. When the most influential, the most popular man, the only anointed political figure in Liberia, when the man touched down, when the man hit the country, day before yesterday, what happened? The atmosphere shifted politically. Some of the guys are saying, but we gotta go bow. We're going bow. The man say, no, if we allow the thing yet, those guys, our aim will not be accomplished. The thing going to drag on. That's how you saw those guys. They did that horror thing, stole people's name, put it there quick, and say they signed resolution, and then they call Rachel Kuhn, say, let's install you quick. But at just the moment former President Weah hit the country, the atmosphere changed. Some of the guys now, they started having second thought. You know, when the leader is off, you can be more energetic. You can say some things. The things that you say when the leader not around, when the leader gets in, you can say those same things. The reason that you were gay for leaving when the leader not around, when the leader comes, you can give that same reason. You can stand on it. Yeah, people say, oh, Chi, sorry, and Chi, sorry, I know. And the people just can't, but I'm not going there again. I change my mind. The presence of former President Weah shift the atmosphere politically. And the atmosphere is still shifting. The man say, my man, we know that man. That man coming in the country, that man be in the country, our black, our number. We're not with me. We're not staying. What we can do here is, let's get something. Say it is a resolution. Already we call 40 persons name, 40 persons present. The other guys We can just include a name to that resolution and announce that we have 40. Now, amen. God. No disrespect to some of us, I mean, our media, we the media people. Then the way we report certain things, it can give legitimacy to illegitimacy. Everybody seeing how that thing was done. People know the law. Media people, you know the law. Then they're reporting. Speaker elect. Speaker Richard Coon. When you have the legitimate speaker on the ground, the constitutional speaker hasn't been removed by any democratic and constitutional means. And then some of our colleagues referring to Richard Coon as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. No reason why, no disrespect to all. Sometimes we just need to be critical of ourselves. As much as we are critical of the other people, we equally need to be critical of ourselves too. We're not immune. We're not saints. We just have to be careful. It was being reported by most of the people. I'm reading some of the lines and hearing some of the casts. Can you imagine radio stations casting and saying and referring to Richard Coon as the Speaker of the House of Representatives? When you know that the Speaker is Fonati Kofa, he hasn't been removed. He is. The people developed some kind of makeshift arrangement because they knew that George Weah was in the town and the presence of George Weah were broken, who have discarded their number, they rushed and added people and installed names and put it there to the extent that the oath-taking, look how it was, look how it went. Then you're referring to the mayor as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. What can Richard Coon do? Richard Coon can do nothing. Nobody can do business with Richard Coon outside this country. No development partner can sit down with Richard Coon. No development partner, no multilateral institution will ever sit down in the literature to write and refer to Richard Coon as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. They can never ever do that. Then some of our colleagues legitimizing illegitimacy, referring to Richard Coon as Speaker. Listen, it's unfair. We have to be critical. There's nothing difficult there to understand. There's nothing difficult for us to know that this man is not a legitimate speaker. There is still the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Fonati Kofa. Until Fonati Kofa is removed. If Fonati Kofa knows that he's not the Speaker or what they did right, Fonati Kofa would not have gone to the Supreme Court with the rate of McDermott's. He is a lawyer. He knows the law. And he has a full understanding of their rules. He knows what the rule says. Did they accord him due process? DC people used to be shouting all over the place here. Well, the men were not giving due process. Honorable, let's give the man due process. Shouting other people. They would invite ministers and say, why you dismiss the man? You dismiss the man. Mr. Minister, did you give him due process? But in their own place, they can give their own due process. It's now overthrow. It's now junta atmosphere. Then some of our colleagues calling and writing the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Richard Coon. It's too awful, man. Out of this country, no media institution will call Richard Coon Speaker. No media institution. They will become more critical. You know why? On no basis of hate but the law. If he is the Speaker, how did he become Speaker? Did they remove the Speaker of the House of Representatives? If the Speaker was removed, then why Fonati goes to court? Is the Supreme Court not going to listen to me? This whole thing, you're listening to other people. You're listening, you'll be able to listen to other networks out of this country. They can talk about Liberia too. Yeah, listen, yeah, I'll bring one of the clips and see how they're making fun. Just as they made fun of us for those bosses, they start again to make fun. Liberia elects speaker on the other side when the speaker is still there as the speaker. Claudie Allison, I know that one. You asking whether the Rachel Kuhn who took the secret oath is the Rachel Kuhn that you knew from the University of Liberia. I know that he was teaching at the University of Liberia. His nickname at the University of Liberia, Bo. Yeah, he's the one. He's the one, Claudie. He's the one. He's the one. Yeah, that's a man. So the men got intimidated. They got afraid. They got so turning. Fear overwhelmed them that if we allow this thing to go beyond Friday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, when we come here, before our number will be about 20 or 23. With the presence of George Weah, let's do the thing as quickly as we can. Ask yourself, why they didn't do it all of the time we are here? They've been having 43. Why did they not do all of those things to get that number and announce Rachel Kuhn or induct Rachel Kuhn? It happened just the time we hit the country. And then the atmosphere shift. People start having second thought. The man had said, if we do something, the guys were clever. That's why I tried to share that thing with you guys from Sun Tzu, The Art of War. The guys were clever. They were far ahead of the speaker. But it's not a defeat for the speaker. But the guys were sensitive that if we do something now, the next 34 hours, we will scatter our camp. And if that happens, we're going to be in a big trouble because we took money. And I bet you that if those guys, if they had not done that, their camp crack. You're going to hear the real thing about the money being coming. Some people are coming start, Liberian people, man, they quite to explain. But we stay here. That's the reason the guy didn't take that thing. The fear of President Weah in the country and his influence, his authority, his control, his power, his persuasion over his people. No man can not disrespect Weah or not even disrespect. They can choose to do their own thing when we are not on the ground. But when we are on the ground, the people respect their leader. And that is why former President Weah don't rush to set up and he takes his time. And that's what a good leader is. You see reason and know how to work it out. Because when you have a full understanding of what is happening, then you know how to insert yourself into that situation and bring it under control. That is the reason, Chief. If God were to send Angel Gabriel down in Liberia, we will tell you, but what Matthew said are true. Had they just given we have 1, 2, 3 hours, it finished. They did it because we are presence in the country was going to crack the group. That is why Goshen and Representative Luther Collins and the other people, they said, no, they think that your brother, or we rescinded our name. Rescind means to take back. And all I want to be explaining good from the legal perspective, moral perspective, political perspective, last night. So I'm going to tell that one again. It's easy to understand. It simply means you back off on the decision that you made. The person said no. And their names, the first thing that came out about the name, it was not by coercion. It was not by coercion. It's voluntary. The same person who said, my man, I'm leaving this paper here. Yes, I agree to you. The same person can come out, my man, I'm taking this paper. Simple. You can't do anything about it. It's voluntary. You have to respect the person's right. You can't impose on another person because you want your aim to be accomplished and using the person as a surrogate against his will. So they stole names. They stole the people's name. They propped it up as quickly as they could. Then they announced, we have more than the 49. And the speaker, Fonatikova, is no longer the speaker of the House of Representatives. Richard Coon is installed. That other junk dog one. Then he go stand there. If Mumu said he's standing out to take oath with left hand. That's the reason the guy did that thing, yeah? You ask yourself, why all the time? They have 43. They went to 45. So why they didn't prop up all that thing move Fonatikova? Because they realized with President Weah in the country, people are going to defect from the group. People have already decided to go back. So the man say, if we hurry up to do something here, we'll be in trouble. But I think when I hold, they will still be exposed. Yeah. Okay. They will still leave. They will still leave. They'll say, let me read some of your comments, and then we go to the line. Those of you who are following, you can call, but your message can be read. Stephen Sia, Slah, S-L-A-H, your last name. Stephen Slah said, I heard that President Weah even called DJ Blue yesterday. Progress, Orita Johnson said, he said to even salute the Liberian flag and the sang the national anthem. I understand what you're trying to say. Mary Tule said that join the list will call Richard Coon speaker. Yeah, the pro-Unity Party people, they calling him speaker. The pro-Unity Party radio stations, pro-Unity Party newspapers, they're calling him speaker. They're making fun of him. And who else? I read your comment, Chief. Jonel Moreau said Richard Coon. Okay. Yeah, the man, they're calling him speaker. Emmanuel Bro said, I'm comfortably seated and enjoying your analysis very well. You are very right with your thoughts and analysis. This is one of the reasons why I see you as one of the best analysts. Thank you for the compliments. And Jean McBarrow said, misbehaving children. And then attached to it, he said, the power of money. The power of money. Okay. Asada Miller said this country is not Boaka Republic. So if there will be two speakers, then there will be two presidents in this country. Not two speakers. Asada Miller, you don't be bothered. No two speakers. One. Fatu Kone said Liberia is a country of men and not law. It is their belief as rebel because they are all criminals. But shame on them. It is going to haunt them and their unborn generation. Eugene Hammond said, I disagree with you, Mr. Andrews. He could not force those rebels to the main chambers. They are all men and women, and we will never force them into the main chambers. The laws will always be the law. Your last name is long. Johar Dedad said he was depending on Boaka, not knowing Boaka was the main man undermining him. Okay, you're referring to the speaker. And McGill Nickland said, Mr. Andrews, the Supreme Court has a part to play. If nothing comes out positively in the interest of the Constitution, the Supreme Court shall take every blame of what is to happen in our country. The judiciary branch shouldn't be used by the executive branch. We are looking. Thank you, McGill Naklam. Morris Johnson. Okay. Who else? Eugene Hammond. I've read your comment. All right, let's move to the line. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 98 03 75. You want to go straight to the point. Don't romanticize the issue. Go straight to the point so that your colleague too will have their say. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, bro, Andrew, I'm Wakase sharing Johnny Bokoro to be preservable shop.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, bro, Andrew. Camera, I'll just see on there. Camera is the order of Paula, bro. They put it out to that man, but I'm going to hear. They put it for all our bros. So anybody who want to be speaker, you will be able to speak up before you become speaker. Now, few hundred of people will just go in one motel and go have fun time and say, oh, yeah, then we'll get speaker or no, we're not lying. So that people get like you know, they just put up straight up. They just want to election to the mother of the Supreme Court.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Hello, how are you, Mr. Andrews?
Yeah, I'm fine. And you?
I'm okay. My name is Ellen Kemu. I'm calling from Mount Bagley.
Let's hear you.
So, thanks for the discussion. You know, I'm still surprised. I don't know what's the fear of those guys. You know that when Thomas Fowler read that resolution, he wanted to prove a point, and he said, we now go to the hair count. Then they just said, no hair count, a resolution. What is the problem of those guys? Why are they so anxious and eager to get position? You know, we have a fellow musician in Bon County, Derek Valley. He sang a music. He said, "Darker na woka darker." When you're not in a position, you say different things. Very surprising of Unity Party with all the experiences they claim they have with everything.
But that is to tell you that Lala thing, that phone they were playing all day. At one point, you want haircut, then you inducting the man.
Yes.
A bunch of jokers.
What we are telling them, the Supreme Court, if they want peace in this country, they better say something good. Because we can't allow those guys to just hijack power as if they people in the country.
All right.
They don't do it. They will see citizens demonstrating. And
Okay.
all will go to that Capitol building. Because we stood under the rain for them.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, your name and where you call from?
This is Ari Johnson calling from. Yeah, bro, you said it all. You know, the person is saying the junior parent school. You can't have a legitimate working and he's telling the chief clerk to carry the letter and they could demonstrate all the budget they could demonstrate on the other side. For example, if somebody said today we want to visit the president and the vice president takes over, and then the number that was supposed to be solicited for the president to resign, they have not reached that amount. When he step down, that's that one thing you should be thinking about. Even though we the people we don't understand the law in depth, but let's just do it as a common scenario. You can be recognizing or telling the chief clerk to the impact you should have known the position of the chief clerk. The chief clerk did not need to make the position known. Then you took the letter whether you're against the Mr. Kofa or for the
Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, let's hear you.
Thank you so much. This is David King.
and I don't know you from the Rouse Yahweh. See, Mr. Andrew, what happened yesterday? Liberia is bleeding. Like there's a sad day in our country. But I know very well that we will not get anything from Mr. Baga because Mr. Baga was the first person to violate our constitution. So when you see lawmakers who are making law coming to violate our own law that they are making, it just tells we the citizens of this country that...
My man, I know all that one. We know all that one, Chief. You're just taking us back. I'm talking about that man. The man is the man, the speaker, or the man that speaker.
Funati is the speaker of the people of Liberia.
What a Baga did.
We don't have no two General Funati Kova. We got one General Funati Kova, and he is the speaker of the people of Liberia. Richard Nangweku, he just a mayor representative.
Thank you, sir. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Sir Andrew, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
You're good.
Yeah, no, Mr. Andrew, something can happen in my whole life. I expect you to know better than you know it. I expect myself to learn from you. Instead of I learning from you, then you learning from me. We let those people to go and make law for us. So we should make a law for them. Now what they are telling us, they know the law.
Yeah.
Really, I felt bad yesterday the way I never felt in my life. So more people who seem to be educated and we are still on the line in the rain, in the sun, and elected them to be our representative. And they acting like ABT students. They want to tell me that they know the law.
No, they know the law.
They know
no, don't blame the people. They know the law. They're telling you all that you people were wrong to elect them. That you people, you don't know your right from wrong.
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100%. We know our right. Thank you very much. I know we know our right because we're both there to night again. But we see, we in Liberia. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Hello.
Okay, and you.
Yeah, hello, my son.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you are on the air, Mama. You are on the air. Yeah. Let's hear you.
Yeah. All right. I thought you don't formulate the shit.
Yeah. Speak.
That is something I want to talk to.
You want to talk to the president?
No, not the president now.
Who now?
The criminal guy who wants to carry something that I want to.
Yeah, talk to them. Talk to them.
Yes. It's not the first time we have no politics. Everybody no politics now. They won't waste either for me, either in Liberia. We don't want to waste. But the time we all know that will go state. I don't know the time will go there. We bought that to they all who bought that to be robbing people. Then you let the party is too much. Today, like you let the party say that they're going to we love our people. And I want to get it. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mama. Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you called from?
Thank you, Sir Andrew. Thanks to the hardworking family of the great King FF family. For the recognitions and pocket Robert. And I join you from St. John Monrovia this evening. Andrew, I just want to tell our people that it's standing by the rules of law. They're standing with Fanatic Kofa, the legitimate and the constitutional speaker. I'm discussing now what's happening where I don't want to go now understand the minute they give follow he they say he celebrating. He's joking. The legitimate speaker that anything that he talks is represented to the kitchen of the people is Fanatic Kofa. It's Fanatic Kofa, I mean. So that's what they're doing that for.
Okay. Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
And this is the voice of P.O.P. Willie, and I join you from Sogwe Bishofu. You see, Mr. Andrews, we bring about miscarriage of justice and charity of justice, but we are seeing it now in broad terms. The guys were even collecting signature on Sunday and Saturday the program being session. They were just randomly collecting a signature to come and do this illegal thing and plunge their country into chaos. They have made us to be a more great, a more community of nations. People are all on the internet mocking at us. are the result of the action of people who are seated at the echelon of seat in society.
All right, Chief.
Lawmakers. But let me say this before I conclude, I beg you. We are on the verge of confusion. Supreme Court, please save Mama Liberia. You are the only hope. You are the only hope now that we are depending on. Please save us of this mess, mockery, and confusion that these people are putting into because of they are better driven, they are better in wheelbarrow, they in front and they totally passing all
right,
the
Chief.
the place in it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, Andrew, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing cool. And you?
I'm good. This is my sister, say Andrew.
I know.
On the line.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's
Thank you
hear
for
you.
the show, my brother. Yeah, thank you for the show. I listened to the analysis. And you were quite correct. I want to say to the court, I said, Andrew, our court will depending on them. If they don't want any problem in this country, please, yes, to the honorable thing. Depending on the court that can bring the thing to permanent, that can bring the whole thing on control. So according on the court, like I said to the people, according on the court to take charge. When you're ready to say, when you're ready to say, tell the people that wrong, tell the people that right, do not right, tell the people that wrong, tell the law be a law. Particular will be there, that man are jumping all around, that both from, we get time for him. That's the he doing jumping around that both from, I get here for him. You don't make this when I made because I made teaching, I know you, I know I said go. And when I said, I want to know that I get talk about the reason with me. Because no one like Bapa the law and for signature as a criminal, and you are doing the right thing, it was wrong. So they lost the echo. Thank you.
Thank you, Max Sisi. Have a nice day. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sir Andrew.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, thank you for the topic on discussion, sir. Hello?
We are listening to you, Chief. Speak.
Yeah, thank you for the topic on discussion. My name is Israel Gering, Sir Andrew. You know, Sir Andrew, I love to listen to your show because your show is more educative. You know, I was so surprised, you know, to hear all of journalists. I'm not provoking them, but just what you said, to hear all of journalists on other platforms calling the sitting speaker the former speaker. They even start giving the glory to the honorable man, which is Kun, that he is the sitting speaker. So I said to myself, where are we heading? What kind of country is this? So we are not in line with law now. We are going all around with all law. And look, Andrew, let me tell you, any country you see today that you see progress going on within that country, it is because of the law. Even the God that created us said, Andrew, that God said he needs law. When there is no law, there will be no standing of that particular institution of that particular home. So you see, people who are educated, they are calling the sitting the sitting speaker, which is he is the former speaker. You know, it looks so disgraceful. So
Okay.
just have to keep praying for this country, for God to come and help this country.
But you can pray too now, my man. And you citizen of the country, you can pray too. You ain't gotta say we gotta keep praying.
Yeah. I pray. That's why we are watching my name, Lord, because they are too simple.
So when you pray now, when you pray, what do you can tell God about Liberia when you pray?
No, after they say, I'm a praying, but then Lord, they're gonna need to go to church. I need to go start helping somebody to really give some senses. Thank you.
The people, they are Christians. Have a nice day. Thank you, bro. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
CAA, Saga of BBC, from the BBC.
You say what?
Yeah, I said CKA, Steve Saga of the BBC, and I refer to you.
CKA?
CKA, Steve Saga of the BBC.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Well, I don't know, Mr. Andrew. So I am TFL rebels long before. So they want for to respect the law they will pass. Because when they are breaking the law now, they're telling all the constitution upside down. So they want a common man to live with their law that they will be. So then there's no need for them to be taking taxpayer money in the country because it is the great thing they are breaking everything. So I don't know because the brother is controlling them. Like what happening? The same way he both CPP how you want to do to the country. You guys, they are real jokers. Fanati Kuba will not resign. So everything they were doing, let Supreme Court was proven wrong. And I know that Supreme Court will never prove that Supreme Court wrong. We are
All right,
watching
Chief.
them with 2 eyes.
Thank you very much.
Start with this thing. But I think it is time for the citizen to spend all the in Morocco, not Morocco, but Ojiro those days when I got say a place for police harassment, taking it up for all the time. I was going to harassing Ojiro.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President. He's going to tell you on some of those
Thank you very much, Stephen Sako. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
I want your number. I mean,
All right. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And you?
You know,
Hey, man. You gone off, oh. Madam, you gone off. Well, we can call back just few calls, and then we move on to something of politics. 0772 2399 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 75. Hello.
yeah, I was talking about the phone go off.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thank God you're back.
All the thing here, some of us, I'm looking at it in my own spirit that political spirit, people, whether people worry themselves. You know?
You going off again, or it's from your end? Hello?
Young Andrews?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. You see, Labrampo, most of them.
What is your name? What is your name and where you call from?
Yeah, sorry. For the record sake, I'm Pastor Emmanuel T. Cooper. I come from Bannersville precisely.
Let's hear you, Pastor.
Most of the Labrampo are very afraid. They are what hypocritical. They are cowards. Hello?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah, they are very cowards. They are coward people. Because Prince Johnson, Major General Prince Johnson tell the Labrampo people that there will be Arab Spring. Current President Joseph Boakai tell people in Grand Pastor Country, in my own native country, that when he doesn't win election, there will be no Liberia. So these are the clear indication that these people don't want to govern well. They want to tribalize the country, criminalize the country. Then they run the country unconstitutionally, which is very wrong in the modern time.
But it has been
action.
It is criminalized. Don't say they want to. It is criminalized. Everything they're doing is criminal.
Everywhere you right? They
All
are
right.
criminalize the country, corrupting the country.
Thank you,
So
sir.
we can get it.
Hello? Yes.
They kept cutting me on with the company. This is
No.
for the quality of my voice.
But listen now, my man. Listen. Hey, my man, wait now. All you be watching there, you pastor or you choir director, you singing like that. Nobody can cut anybody off. You only know this thing. How you outside? You outside? You outside? What company? They ain't cutting you off, my man. Just that the network bad. It's not conducive. Let's hear you.
Okay, as I was saying, the guys yesterday they tried to justify the money that they are collected. So as you were saying, the only day that they had to prove point was yesterday. Even they were even making a lot of mistakes. You can't even tell people that you have 50 yesterday.
Hey man, say with Joe, we are in a country, there will more delay.
So you want to tell me that you got 50. And then Funati with the subtraction of Mema, Funati got 26. So 26 from 50 that how much down there? Because they just mixed out everything yesterday. And this is a bias to our country. Some of our friends across the world, when they call after the thing yesterday, say, all the people are playing small and they are just up. When they go, you say, oh, why are you in your country? You got another speaker and then you got another one. That's what your constitution say. So it takes the country back. You don't pay back. But Supreme Court will do the honorable thing. Because to preserve the peace in this country.
You trust the Supreme Court?
I think so, because at this critical juncture, I'm sure they will do the honorable thing. Because mind you, I was saying on one of your sister station this morning, you see what happened in the other states of America, because we always made mention of America. That's
okay, Chief.
Issue. It was the Supreme Court all fight against America. Then the thing could have gone the other way around. You
Okay,
only
Chief.
can afford that guy, God.
Thank you, sir.
See thing with Liberia right now. If Supreme Court will do the honorable thing to rule what about
Thank you. Hello.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Andrew. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you. My name is Mohammed Asisi. I'm calling you from a resident here in District 17, Banjul, to be specific.
D17.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew, for a full minute opportunity. Like the rapporteur said, the speaker made a mistake from the beginning. The reason why the speaker was not fast started to pull himself together, Yeke Koluba told this man and told the whole world that there are discussions going on in the corridor of the legislature to move him. He did not take it serious. He get out, he jumped behind his enemy, his worst enemy that he considered his best friend, which is Joseph Walker. He went with him in America. From America, he went to Italy. At the time he left the country, at the very day that thing started, I expected him to cut the trail up and come back. When you were there from America to Canada.
Yeah, my man, that one behind us now.
It was wet.
That one behind us, it finished. We can keep dwelling on the past.
now-
We're talking about
so
the present.
Thank you. Saying he have gone back to the Supreme Court now. We are waiting for the ruling from the Supreme Court. What the Supreme Court will say. If the Supreme Court say anything that will go against Funati, they will know that the Supreme Court too are now holding fast to the rule of law.
Okay, thank you, see. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's take you, the last person, and then we'll move to something else. Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good as you are.
Okay, thank you very much for your show. By way of introduction, this is our debut. I join your discussion from the legacy of former President Wako Ominga Market. Chief, you see, for me, those are all in the public places and the marketplaces continue to say that Funati should not give us. You see, our lawmakers, in fact, our government officials, when they go to country, they will tell the people that Liberia is a country of law. That statement is saying Liberia is a country of law, but by their action, their attitude does not show that Liberia is a country of law. So, how we live in a country that people continue to say Liberia is a country of law and their actions contradict what they say? No, those are all that one law, the issue that has to do with law to be applied in this country. We are the one that supporting Funati. Funati shouldn't give us. Let him go to Supreme Court, and we know that our Supreme Court will make a rightful decision. Will not take side with the persistent nonsense that the majority black carry on in this country. That's a complete persistent nonsense. Where in the world you will go and fortify some of your colleagues or signature to add your number up. And you took the post signature on new to them to add your number up to remove Funati. Even those are in the marketplace, my brother, when you go in a keke, even in a testing, when they bring national about Funati, come out removal. When people ask, how we ask for this?
So, you're in Omega Market. That is a popular area. Yeah. What the people saying there? What the atmosphere there? How the people taking this thing?
But what I'm telling you now, in the market, when you people let them in the old man, and I can't say, but when they made one move, what they made, they all they go save money, they send out to hotel, they enjoy themselves, then they give you problem on Funati. What they made it. Every day when you even say that, even to the marketplace, they're all telling you, but what happened? It's the one removing. No, nobody can answer. Anybody that even supporting the removal of Funati, when you go to I mean, what they made it, they say they make cover. Why did they want somebody to be for what they see make cover for audit?
All right, Chief. Thank you.
What thing does that mean? So now we're asking for us to proceed to the Supreme Court. We know that Supreme Court will not participate or will not take that with a persistent nonsense. It don't have to do with stability. It don't have to do with my kids' business. The law will remain the law.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. All right. I appreciate all of you. You did extremely well to spice up. This is the hottest issue in Liberia right now. But don't allow it to blindfold you of other things that are happening. I know everybody is concerned. It is the attraction to everybody, but there are other things. Sometimes government can use a strategy like this to divert so that you don't know what they're doing on the other side. But let's be sensitive. There are other things that are unfolding. Yeah, as soon as we get hold of it, you will know. Pastor Melvin, Destiny Harvest Power One, you've come on from the United States of America. Thank you. And you said God help Liberia. Yes, God has not taken off his hands off Liberia, but he also doesn't meddle into the politics of the day. We're seeing that in the Bible. If you say you want Nebuchadnezzar, he gave you a chance. And you elected Nebuchadnezzar. God can interfere in political affairs. God is democratic. The will of the people, he allowed it to prevail. That is why most of the prayers they offer to God for Liberia, 3-day fast and prayer, 3-5 prayer, God can listen to it. So let's move to another thing. And this should be a caution to parents. Whether you got one child or 2 or 3 children, you want to be careful. They are your produce, your products, your offspring. And you brought the child or children to earth for a purpose. With time, you will want to reap the investment or the return on your investment, because you send them to school, you feed them, you clothe them. When they're sick, you provide medication and all of those things needed for growth. At the close of the day, you want to be that proud father and proud mother. You don't procreate to show a don't care attitude, and then when something disastrous happens, you are excited. I don't think anybody wants to be in such a state, man, woman, father, mother. Everyone wants the child or children to come up well. And it is very possible, but it doesn't say if you are not careful, you show a don't care attitude, accident won't come your way. You just need to be careful. I am saying this against the backdrop of what came up this week. Those 2 children, it was reported that they left in a vehicle and died in there. I still trying to wrap my reasoning around that situation. Where the car was, what kind of car was it? Wasn't there a person or persons around? Was the car in a secluded or separate area that no human being was around? Nobody saw those 2 children moving into the vehicle. Their ages and reasoning, and they said child. That means small. When you're saying child, you're saying small, and you're referring to blank mind, empty mind. So strength is not available. A car door is a bit heavy, to say in a Liberian way. And if the 2 children got in the car and they closed the door, then it means it must be automatic. And automatic door is heavy to just get inside, and then they close the door with ease. There are too many questions that can go around there. Where was the car? Nobody saw the two children getting in the car. And when they got in the car, did they close the door immediately? Well, where the car was, it could make sense some way, somehow, if they say the car was in a separate place, nobody there, all the two children just come outside playing from one end to another and they move into the car, nobody see them. Then you'll say, so the position of the car and the kind of car, well, all of the windshields were wind up. But be that as it may, the legal people, the forensic experts, they can handle that. But this is what I can say to you and to every one of us going into the weekend. Look after your child or children. Look after your child or children. Trust them with no place or person unfamiliar. Most parents leave the child or children unto themselves. You just go, they're playing from one end to another, they're moving, and children are attracted to people, their colleagues, their peers, by sentiment, by feelings, just as we are, as big as we are also attracted to people. So we are driven by what we see of other people, what we like and what they do. That's how children are. That is why when you're in a place, you say, oh, what blessing? What blessing on your journey? Now that person say, oh, I saw one boy walking, oh, he's just going on the road. Then the woman yelling, oh, what blessing on my son? Tell your man not do that to my son. All kinds of things. Some of the things that happen, they're just negligence. Most parents will not keep a full grip of their child or children. They allow them to roam, and then they will go beyond the perimeter of their house. And they are children. They are not sensitive to anything, atmosphere, or people, or reasoning. Their mind is blank, empty, nothing there. That's why when you're saying child, you're saying feeling, that how they move. They just move by feeling what they see. They go. They only develop sense as they come up. And that sense is by training. That is why God said in Proverbs 22:6, train the child that when he is old will not depart from it, meaning full grown. So you want to be careful. Some of these things you're put it on ritualistic act, you blame other people, but sometimes it's just negligence. We see it all over the place. A woman and the child walking, the woman walking faster than the child behind she walking. Sure. Somebody will say, oh, ain't that your child? Ain't that you and the ball going or you and the guy? Then you turn around, come on, come in for me, man. You stupid one, yeah. And the next thing, she's slapping the boy or the girl. By that way, she thinks that the boy or the girl has sense to be ahead of her. And those of you who do that, you have to stop. You don't expect child to do and act as the way you are. You have grown. They're growing. They have nothing. They are complete blank. And that is why when they die, when a child dies, that child goes straight to heaven. The logic is simple. What God allowed them to go to heaven strictly because they empty, nothing there. So he can hold them for anything to account. That's why you don't, when you see the child doing certain things, you don't just show emotion and start to beat and scream and yell. You only be making fun of yourself. You only be bringing the lowness mentally of yourself out. But you can caution, you can talk to the child, you can train the child in a way that he or she will not leave that perimeter. So you want to be very careful. The society is just not safe. You can tell. Always keep your child or children within your reach. Always. That will help. Then the National AIDS Commission of Liberia, they came out with something very interesting and staggering. They said that 34,000 Liberians have HIV virus. 34,000. 34,000. That's what they said. Right now, they're not quoting past report. They're saying, according to their survey conducted, according to their investigation, right now, 34,000, not hundreds, 34,000 Liberians have the HIV virus. 34,000. That's not a small number. So if 34,000 Liberians have HIV virus, then imagine the people who they have affected. Then it goes beyond 34,000. Probably we'll be talking about 50 or 60,000. How did it arrive at this figure? They did not include foreigners or non-Liberians. They say 34,000 Liberians. The survey will not capture, or the investigation or the research will not capture foreigners. It exempts foreigners and definite with Liberians. That's what they say in their report. Look at their document. They said 34,000 Liberians have the virus, the HIV virus. So it means that 34,000 Liberians already infected with the virus, and they are infecting other people too. So the next report that might come up from the National AIDS Commission of Liberia, the number will have risen. Maybe it will have gone to 60 or 70,000, they'll say, Liberians with the HIV virus. I can doubt it. I'm not doubting it. I'm just looking at the number, 34,000. And how did they arrive at this 34,000? Why is not inclusive of non-Liberians? Because we are all in this place together. We are all in this village. The village is not filled with only Liberians, the citizens. The village is a mixture of people, different people. All of us moving around in this village called Liberia. 34,000, huge number. How did they arrive at 34,000? How the investigation was conducted? Did it cut across? Did it come from Monrovia or rural Liberia or urban Liberia, or by county? Because the number is so high. Interestingly, only Liberians. That's the interesting part. Reading the report, and started to wonder. Anyway, that's what it said. So let's see. You agree with them. You agree with the National AIDS Commission of Liberia that 34,000 Liberians got the HIV virus. And what can you do to keep your children safe? Some of you are in an open area that your children playing all over the place. Some of you, the house is in fence. That is good. It helps a lot. Yes, that's security by itself. And other conditions, zero. Let's talk. Give me your understanding of this situation as quickly as we can. And then we are out. It's the weekend, yeah? You enjoy yourselves. You relax yourself. The entertainment centers are getting jam-packed everywhere. From Monday to Friday, people want to de-stress. It's not bad, it's good, but just make sure that you do it in a moderate way and avoid temptation so that you don't get into some kind of problem. Hello?
Good evening, people.
Yes.
My name is Aliyu Patikuma, Mepikin family. I'm going to run a carriage here.
Which one you going to? All two or one?
Which one? Which one is it? All two or one?
The two children that we are told
died
in the car and the AIDS Commission. All right.
You see, let me say thanks to you for your analysis. You see, what really making Jason, I can just say, the big people, maybe a friend when it's nature, they're doing something, and then maybe they are the big person, but you put this stuff to them, so now they don't want to listen, only our African mentality, so now maybe when a child, you be the child boss, or now when a child, you be the child pump. Somehow when we come here, our parents, when we do things are wrong, people use the wall, they plug our ball, when you go lay complete to your man, so now you know your man will you plug your ball, but this is the thing that made you see the people. They sound like a friend now when so much children doing something to be able to train it because everybody now want to maybe they want to make plow for their children. Sometimes you see two people standing or causing each other for children and someone will come all these things we not see it. So when we go contrary our parents, there is no way people will just was small child just be you if you not do anything. No.
Okay, Chief. Thank you.
People when you be you go live to live to their parents, you're afraid.
Thank you. Let's listen to this person too. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, people. Andrew, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. And you?
Well, by the special grace of God, we are moving here. My name is Mohammed Assis, a resident of District 17, Banjul to be specific. I want to talk about the age commissioner. You see, the problem here is, I will not believe that report because in Liberia, it's not only Liberians living here. We got a lot of bulk of foreigners live here. We got a lot of foreigners living here with us. And that report, they did not capture any foreigner, just say so Liberia. So you want to tell me, only Liberians living here in Liberia, only Liberians supposed to get a disease? That's one question to them. The second one is, how did they arrive at that number? How the survey was conducted? Did they do it county by county, district by district, town to town, village by village, city to city? That's the question I get for them. So I will not believe it until they can come back to you or wherever when they posted out and let them go back and really explain better to the world or the Liberian and that this is how we came on our survey, this is how we did it, this is how it went. So this is the report. Until then, for me, I will not believe that. Thank you.
So you think they step up the number?
The number, in fact, the number is not only step up, but the number is huge. No, one number is talking about 34,000 Liberians, no non-Liberians, so Liberians. The number is so huge. Let them come on and be fair to all. They shouldn't be lying to all in that kind of a point and manner. Because even if you ask my lesson in 10 years, in info, when you ask him with that kind of number now, he will ask the first question he will ask, only Liberians living here, no different person living here. All the time in villages in the country, you go there, you will see all of national living there. Then you get come up with that kind of report, only on Liberia. That the one that make it no fake. That the fake is back there, boy. So
Let them go back on
My man, I see what thing. I see what thing the people. I see what thing the people put all you say fake.
That's it.
Okay, Chief. Thank you for calling. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend.
Okay.
Right. So it's the weekend, right? And we've been going through a lot. And you're going through a lot, and you will still go through a lot. That's the normal trend of life. But in the midst of it all, you show courage. You will be let down, just as Fonati Kofa was let down. You will be betrayed, just as some of you were betrayed some way, somehow. I may not know your condition, you know, but all of these things are part of life. As long as we exist on the earth, these things will befall us with time. But our ability to gain strength, and strength comes from God, it comes from reading the Bible, it comes from listening to motivational tips, it comes from reading some literatures that will not only give you comfort, but it gives you an understanding of how to charter a new course moving forward. So let's go home with this one.
Thanks to those who hurt me, you made me a stronger person. Thanks to those who loved me, you made my heart bigger. Thanks to those who cared, you made me feel important. Thanks to those who showed concern, you let me know that you care. Thanks to those who left, you showed me that not everything is forever. Thanks to those who stayed, you showed me the true meaning of friendship. Thanks to those who entered my life, you helped me become the person I am today. Thanks to those who hurt me, you made me a stronger person. Thanks to those who loved me, you made my heart bigger. Thanks to those who cared, you made me feel important. Thanks to those who showed concern, you let me know that you care. Thanks to those who left, you showed me that not everything is forever. Thanks to those who stayed, you showed me the true meaning of friendship. Thanks to those who entered my life, you helped me become the person I am today. Thanks to those who hurt me, you made me a stronger person. Thanks to those who loved me, you made my heart bigger. Thanks to those who cared, you made me feel important. Thanks to those who showed concern, you let me know that you care. Thanks to those who left, you showed me that not everything is forever. Thanks to those who stayed, you showed me the true meaning of friendship.
Certainly, that's what it is. Play the Cash Money giveaway. They scored 799 star 25 hash. Play $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US and win for yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars. Play as many times as you can and you will win. Too many people have won, too many people are winning. And as many times you play, you will never ever get broke. You will always have money in your pocket. The weekend is on, and beyond the weekend, new week starts. This week, a guy won 20,000. And what did he tell Israel? He said, thank God, at least I get money to pay my school fees. So things weren't working, and he almost gave up. He almost gave up. And just when he decided to play, he won 20,000 Liberian dollars. And he happily said, at least he has money to pay his school fees and do other things. He was over happy. That's how it is. You can never tell. Just continue to play. $200, not much, small money. $200 Liberian dollars or 100, that's $1.50 US. Dial star 799 star 25 hash, and you will have your 10,000 Liberian dollars in your pocket. Thanks ever so much for being with us. This is how Real Talk recess for this week, to return afresh on next week, Monday, if God permits. But the news is on at 6 and just under 30 minutes. And then at 8 o'clock is Face the Issues with A.B. William. My name is Sam Andrews. Have a nice weekend. Shalom.